Good morning everyone. Today we will discuss about the chapter that is breathing. Okay. So we have already completed that chapter, a previous chapter, and we will continue the some of the parts of the respiration, and today we will discuss about the breathing process. Okay. You know that breathing is the most important process for the living organism. It is just taking of the oxygen and go outside the and exits of the carbon dioxide that occurs. That is a natural process and occurs in every living organism's body. Okay. So that's why the breathing is important part of the respiration. So let's start. What is breathing? That is, close your nostrils and mouth tightly and look at a watch. What did feel after some time? So you just do that first. What do you do? You just close your nostrils and the mouth and all this, and after some times, not immediately, you can feel that there is some suffocation occurs. You can examine yourself that how many times you can hold your breath. Okay. And you can feel that what is the importance of the breathing in your body. Close your nostrils and mouth tightly and look at a watch. What did you feel with some time? How long are you able to keep both of them closed? Note down the time for which you could hold your breath. So now you know that you cannot survive for long without breathing. Okay. Obviously, breathing is the most important process for the living organism, so we cannot survive without breathing. Breathing means taking in the air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of respiratory organs. The taking of the air rich in oxygen and the body is called the inhalation, and giving out of the air rich in carbon dioxide is known as exhalation. Okay. So the inhalation and exhalation is the part of the breathing. Breathing means you not only take the oxygen, you also give out the carbon dioxide. So this is the total process of the breathing. So what is inhalation? Saptorshi, what happened? Okay. Okay, everyone. Okay, so inhalation means the taking of air rich in oxygen in the body. Okay, taking of air rich in oxygen in body, and exhalation that is gives out of the air, giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide, giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide. Okay. So this is the two most important part of the breathing, that is inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation means taking of the air rich in oxygen in the body, and the exhalation means giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide in the body. It is a continuous process and which goes on the all time throughout the life and the organism. So breathing is a continuous process. Obviously, throughout the life you must breathe, but it is not only a continuous process, it must be a important important process also for the surviving of the living organism, because without breath we cannot survive, we will be finished. Okay, so breathing is a continuous and important process in the life of the living organism. The number of a times person breathe in a minute is termed as breathing rate. So what is breathing rate? The breathing number of the breathing per minute. Okay, in a minute how many times a person can breathe, that is called breathing rate. So what is breathing rate? The number of breath a person in a minute, the number of the times, the number of times a person breathes in a minute is called breathing rate. Okay, so the number of the times a person breathes in a minute is called breathing rate. Next, during the breathing, inhalation and exhalation takes place alternatively. A breathe means one inhalation plus one exhalation. So you can say that, ma'am, taking the oxygen is breathing. Never. That is only inhalation and that is an incomplete breathing. If you a complete breathing is one inhalation and one exhalation. When you count your breathing, you must count the inhalation and exhalation both. Okay. So you just take the oxygen and that is not breathing. The taking the oxygen and come out of the carbon dioxide, both are included in one breathing. So when you count the breathing rate, the both must be counted. Okay. So one breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. Okay, this is the total breathing when you measure the breathing rate. Would you like to find your breathing rate? Do you want to find whether it is constant or it is changes according to the requirement of oxygen by the body? Let us find out by doing following activity. Generally, we are not aware that we are breathing. Obviously, we never aware about the breathing. We can feel some suffocation, then we know that what is the importance of the breathing. But when you take normally oxygen or carbon dioxide, you never know that. I just one time take the oxygen, now we have to give out the carbon dioxide, then we have to take the oxygen. That occurs in your mind? Never. You don't have any sense about when you take oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. Okay. So most probably and mostly not, largely all of living organisms breathes automatically. That is not in our sense. Okay. So generally we are not aware that we are breathing. However, if you try to, you can count your life. Breathe in and out normally. Find out how many times you breathe and breathe out in a minute. So when you just want to measure the breathing rate, just normally breathe. Take one breathing, one inhalation, one exhalation. Okay. Did you inhale the same number of times as you exhale? And you remember that how many times you take the, if you 10 times inhale, you have to take the 10 times exhalation. Okay. Now breathing rate equal to number of breaths per minute. You know that what is the breathing rate? The number of the breaths per minute. Okay. Breathing rate number of breaths per minute. that is breathing rate. Okay, per 1 minute you can say that 1 to not valuable, so per minute. Recover your breathing rate as soon as you finish, and long after complete rest, tabulate your finding and compare your breathing rates under different conditions with those you have classmates. You can compare how many times you can breathe, how many times your classmate can breathe. Okay, you can compare the breathing rate with your classmates. From the above creativity, you must have realized that whenever a person needs extra energy, he or she needs faster. As a result, more oxygen is supplied to our cell. It speeds up the breakdown of food and energy is released. Does this explain why do we feel hungry after the physical activity? So, you can see that when you doing some types of the physical activity, when you running, when you do some heavy work, you need feel hungry, thirsty. Why? Because your body needs energy, and from where does you can get that energy? From your food and water, because oxygen is also go out through your water, and your food contains glucose. When you breathe, when you do the normal work, the normal energy that present in your body that you can use, but when you need more energy, you take more oxygen to supply the energy your body. So that's why when you running, your breathing rate must be increased than the normal rate, because how fast, how much oxygen you can take, then you can give that amounts of the energy to your body. So that is why it is the cause why you feel thirsty, why you feel sleepy, why you feel hungry, because you provide your body energy. Okay, when you take the food, that gets break down into glucose and energy, and that energy you can use in your work. Okay, when you feel drowsy, does your breath slow down? Then the body receives sufficient oxygen. When you drowsy, feeling any type of problem, your breathing rate slowly, because that's why your body receives sufficient oxygen, slowly but sufficient oxygen. Okay, so various activities carried out by a person during a normal, some activities are there, some the washing their clothes, someone sleeping, some was running, some was walking, some needs read, some just climbing the leg. Okay, so some this type of activities. Can you say in which activity the rate of the breathing will be slowest and in which will be the fastest? So you know that when you sleep, when you read, this type of work need slow rate, but when you running, when you walking, when you washing your clothes, that need more energy, because they are the work that need more energy, that is heavy type of work. Okay, assign numbers of the pictures in order to increase the rate of the breathing according to your experience. So first one the boys sleep, second one the boys read, third one the man climbing the ladder, then the person walking, then the woman washing clothes, then the girls running. That is the increasing rate of the breathing. Okay, epiglottis are present in our glottis area, in our neck area, that cover your food pipe. Okay, that is epiglottis, actually the covering of the food pipes, a small part when you take the food that never goes inside your food pipe, that covering your that part. Okay, that is epiglottis. Let us learn about the mechanism of breathing. So how breathing occurs? Okay, normally we take the air through our nostrils. When you inhale air, it passes through the nostril into the nasal cavity. So first the air taken by our nostrils, then it passes through the nasal cavity. These nostrils are the opening of the nose, then nasal cavity. Okay, then from the nasal cavity air reaches our lungs to the windpipe. Okay, lungs are present in the chest cavity. Okay, so first nostrils, then nasal cavity, then windpipe, then lungs. Lungs are present in the chest cavity. The cavity is surrounded by the ribs in the sides. A large muscular sheath called diaphragm forms the close the chest cavity. So where the chest are present, and just below the chest cavity there is a membrane like structure is present that form the base or foundation of the chest cavity, that is called diaphragm. The floor of the chest cavity. Breathing involves the movement of the diaphragm and rib cage. So when you breathe, your rib cages just going up and down with the diaphragm. Okay, so the breathing process, how does it occur? First the breathing process, air enters into the nostrils. Chest cavity means the chest that is formed by the rib cage, okay. Chest, your breast area, okay, that is chest part, and that is formed by the rib cage, that is called cavity, means hole, okay. So chest cavity is the hole, so that hole is present, so that's why lungs must be present, that is not solid, okay, that is empty inside, that is called chest cavity. Nostrils, then it goes to the nasal cavity. Then chest cavity, that is lungs present in the chest cavity, okay. Food pipe, windpipe, you can say that windpipe. Our windpipe and food pipe are the same, okay. The food and wind, so that's why epiglottis are present when you intake the food, that not propagating inside the lungs or any parts of the body, okay. So windpipe, then lungs. So this is the pathway of the breathing, and there is chest cavity and diaphragm is present, and diaphragm and chest cavity doing the movement when you inhale and when you exhale. You can feel that in your chest area some is up down and some goes up, okay. This is your chest cavity and diaphragm. During inhalation, ribs move up and outwards and diaphragm moves down. So when ribs moves up, your diaphragm and outwards and the diaphragm down, okay. Ribs up, diaphragm down, remind that opposite occur. This movement increases the space in your chest cavity and rushes into the lungs. The lungs get filled with the air. During exhalation, ribs moves down and inwards, diaphragm moves its former position, okay. So when you take inhale, the chest cavity goes up and diaphragm goes down to increase the pace. So that's why the lungs filled with the air, and after that when you exhale, your chest cavity goes down, your diaphragm lifts up, so that the air goes out your body. While diaphragm moves up to its former position, that reduces the size of the chest cavity or pushes out, and the lungs, these movements in our body felt easily. Take a deep breath, keep your palm on the abdomen, feel that movement of the abdomen. Why do you find? When you take breath, you can feel in your belly area, that is your abdomen, you can feel that thumb was goes up and down, that is the diaphragm present in your that part, okay. After having learned that during breathing there are changes in the chest cavity, children got involved in the chest expansion competition, okay. Everyone boasting that he or she can expand the maximum, and so sometimes you can make some, if windpipe and for same, then we breathe, will not be able to inhale oxygen because food will go time and the person will die. Yes, obviously there is both are the same type, but that is separated by the exhalation. So that's why that is just present side by side, okay. One is goes outside and another goes to the food pipe, and that will be closed by the epiglottis, okay. So that's why food does not get inside the windpipe, okay. That is you just meaning wrong, you are right. Okay, bye everyone. This is up to for the today. Today we will discuss about the breathing process, and thank you so much everyone. Bye everyone.